Welcome to Cymbal Sounds of the Masters. This video library will trace the cymbal selections of the great drummers from Gene, Max, Philly, and Elvin up to the present day with drummers such as Terri Lyne Carrington, Eric Harland, Bill Stewart, Adam Nussbaum, Marcus Gilmore, and Steve Gadd, among many others. Throughout this evolution, you will find that the music drove the sound, and it still does. Each short interview will include a discussion of the music, sound, and process that went into making the choice come alive. We've invited head cymbal tester Leon Chiapinni, who has selected cymbals at Zildjian for the last 55 years. His stories alone make the series memorable. And of course, we wanted to involve Paul Francis, Director of Cymbal Innovation. Paul has been with Zildjian for 29 years and has developed and created the designs and production for all of the lines. Paul's perspective on each and every player and cymbal is invaluable. He is a master cymbal maker. Over time, we hope to archive all of these engaging clips, providing a wonderful resource of cymbal knowledge and history for years to come. So as we take you on a cymbal sound journey, we will honor the past, shape the present, and imagine the future. Enjoy and thank you.
It's good to be here this morning at Zildjian Company in the famous testing room where many a famous player has come to hear their cymbals and work with Paul Francis. And we're going to talk about some of the old cats that I used to work with, say 45 to 50 years ago. We're just fortunate enough to be doing what we love to do and work with the people that we have worked with. Krupa had a wonderful personality. He was a great guy, and I first met him when he came to Quincy, when we had the factory there, and he'd pick out his cymbals, which were pretty much straight ahead, 20-inch ride and 18s and 16s, and he'd try them all. When Gene came through, or when Buddy came through, or whatever, it was always fun, and we selected cymbal after cymbal. And I would say the same about Buddy also, except it was a totally different personality when it came to Buddy Rich. Now, Buddy Rich, he liked, his personality was for a good, clean ride cymbal with a lot of stick, but a little bit of crash quality also. And I used to also pick for Buddy a high 18 and a low 18. And sometimes Buddy would show me these things. Instead of hitting a crash cymbal like most people did, sometimes Buddy would come up and down with a fantastic finesse, smooth as silk. Cymbal selection is an individual thing. Their personalities come out through their cymbals, and that's the way it was. Everybody wanted something a little bit different. Like, for instance, Louis Bellson had this 18 that he was actually famous for. He came out with what we call a trio, which had 3 rivets placed, grouped together like tunk, tunk, tunk. And nobody had ever done that. And that would just ring in that little corner there, and you'd get that little Louis Bellson buzz on it.
So what is the difference of 3 rivets right there or spread out throughout the cymbal?
Much more concentrated right here than it would be spread out over the cymbal.
Yep.
You get that little zzz. That actually worked its way right into catalogs.
Yep.
Papa Joe Jones, great player, great player. Been in many movies and great big band player, any kind of player. And Papa Joe came in and I was going to work with Papa Joe. He says, yeah, Leon. And he had this way about him, like the way he jerked his head, yeah, and very enthusiastic. And he'd look around, go, yeah, oh, Leon, yeah, man, let's hit some cymbals. So I pick up a cymbal. Oh, man, you don't hit cymbals like that. You gotta hit them like this. Just your hand. I'd say, wow, Papa Joe, man. And he'd say, Leon. I'd say, is that one Joe? He'd say, He goes, I said, Joe, how do you know to pick that one? He goes, can you see the devils dancing on him? I said, oh, hello. He says, the devils are dancing on that one. That's mine.
Leon, as these cymbals keep coming back in here, what are you listening for, and what kind of information are you passing back to Paul? For the changes and the modifications and the tweaking.
It depends on who we're working with, what they want.
Right.
What do they want for overtones? They want high pitched. They want low pitched. They want fast crashes. They want to project. They need something heavier.
Cutting.
You don't pick for a rock drummer what you pick for a jazz player.
Sure,
It's all different, and we have to put it together individually. That's why we have so many different lines.
Yeah. These
Take
changes.
Max Roach. Take Max. We go back to Max. The time that he picked cymbals that had all those dark overtones that he kind of loved, that was his particular type of taste.
And one of the great
It
things,
all works.
from my perspective, is making cymbals for many years, is that this Zildjian alloy is so beautiful to work with because you can manipulate it a million different ways and end up with different sounds.
Oh, Philly Joe. Fantastic jazz, all-time great, wonderful player. I can't remember his exact setup, but I know it was all K's. But what I remember the most, he had some arms when he stretched out. He just stretched right out like a basketball player. I mean, wow. Not to mention, of course, a wonderful feeling that a jazz great like him could convey. Wonderful. Cozy Cole, wonderful guy. Topsy Part 2. Played some real simple